Heineken glass. What are you drinking, Brad? Oh, and hello, by the way, Jared.
Straight water. Straight water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. That's some nice orange juice there.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
The nightcap of champions.
There
couldn't possibly be anything else in this drink at all. Not to shoot, though, by the way. This is actually orange juice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah. I would, yeah. It's a lot like orange juice. All right. So you guys ready?
Let's do it.
I was born ready.
All right. You were born ready. All right. So let's start off. How do you guys feel about each other right now? Because you guys haven't seen each other, or at least at an in-ring confrontation, since last July at the MAW Rice County Fair.
Well, I'll let Brad start off with that one. I'm interested to see what his feelings are. I bet he thinks he gets a championship shot against me. That's what he thinks.
Whoa.
So, since then, I've had time to reflect on many things. One was everything that happened before the match, all the things I was put through mentally, physically. Two was during the match, mentally, physically, which I will give the system a shout out to, that he is a master of mental boundaries. He's very good at setting tones and making you think all different things. But I was able to do what I wanted. I went in there and I was able to it wasn't even about the victory. It was standing up for myself and just really showing that anybody can do stuff. You know what I mean? It's not my ring. It's their ring. They train for this every single day. It shows in what they do. I just have always had that personality that, you can't let people stomp on you all the time. And I think it just went our way. And I might have impressed a couple people with that drop kick. That was a highlight of my career. But other than that, I did what I set out to do. I just wanted to get in that ring with those guys and set stuff straight. And it just ended the way it did, which was even bittersweet. And
whose chop hurt the worst?
That's been talked about many times. Now, if you want the real truth, it was Jimmy's.
Probably, yeah. That's probably about right.
Jimmy chopped. Yeah, it was Jimmy's.
Did Jimmy hit you with the most of them, or was it mostly BJ?
I thought that BJ, I can't, when you're in the ring, it's so quick, you don't even realize, but I thought BJ hit me with 3, Jimmy hit me with 1, and you hit me with 2 is what I recall feeling. Because at one point, Jimmy's hurt so bad that when you came in, I was like, no. And then you hit me the first time, and at that point, I sunk because I was hoping we'd be done. But nope, you hit me one more time, and that one was a good one.
Giving credit where credit is due, but we've had plenty of fans run straight out the bar after one shot, and so for you to not run out of the way of the ring until BJ had to crack you across the post, that's tier 2 level of shenaniganry. I'll keep this a PG show here, so it's. But that being said, I'm very good at putting things under the bridge and moving on. So tensions ran high. I'm not going to say that it wasn't earned, but I'm very good at putting things under the bridge. As you just saw, I have a very important match to take care of on Saturday, and that's where my mind has been at for the past month, Jared. So, seeing Brad is a nice surprise. Here's the real question, Brad. What's your favorite meat at Fogo de Chao?
Ooh, I really like the top sirloin and the house special.
The top sirloin? Indeed. I'd go with the steaks as well.
It's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're talking about Saturday, and Saturday's what is it? Yeah, you're facing GPA in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin for MAW. So how have you been preparing for that so far, System?
Well, I've been hitting the gym per usual, keep myself in the best shape that I possibly can. I started calling myself a Midwest All-Star Wrestling heavyweight champion damn near a year before I actually became it. And, that year was just a whole lot of trying to make myself become a heavyweight, because I'm like 175 pounds, natural, just going through college and just eating whatever, doing whatever. I'm just a natural, skinny, fat, white kid, 175. It's been like, damn near 5-year journey to work myself up to. I think I've laid out like 194 right now, but that's like 227 in professional wrestling weight, like whatever AJ Styles weighs, that's what I weigh now. So a lot of it's, keeping up in the gym. I've been spending a lot of time trying to figure out how GPA got the match in the first place, because I pissed off a lot of people. I've heard Brad throwing out his challenges at me. I've heard other people being like, "Oh, I beat the System. Where's my title shot?" And so there's, you saw the tournament itself as well. Garrison Creed's got a great opportunity to get a championship match against me. Craven Knight's got a great opportunity to get a championship match at me. Austin Arrow thinks he probably has a chance at me as well. I'll kick any of their asses any other day of the week. I have no idea how GPA got this first title defense, how we got this MAW championship match. And I've been doing some research. I've been going back, watching the tapes. And I think this is what it was. He beat Coda Jacobs. And then I'll give him that, because if you can beat Coda Jacobs in this business, like there's beating Rampage Santana, then there's beating Coda Jacobs. If you can outsmart Coda Jacobs and kick that man's ass, I'd say you're probably primed for a wrestling. That being said, that's it. That's it. I don't really know. Like that's where like half of my time has been spent, is like how does a man finesse into that title picture? So he could either be very smart or very lucky, but I consider him very unlucky, because I'm not going to lose my first ever title defense. I've waited over a year for this moment.
And when did you win that title?
I won it in late November of this year. I think it was
so
like
what we're saying is losing to me was the best thing that ever happened to you.
Well, you could say, and you kind of had to cheat there. Jerry kind of had to use a weapon. You used the table. But that was a smart thing you did there, making it no DQ at the last second. That's a very smart move of you. I don't think I would have come up with that on the spot. So I'll give credit where credit's due. 1-on-1, no DQ, Brad. I don't think you want that, though. I don't think you want that from the System.
Yeah. Yeah, System's been a part of a lot of battles. I think it was a few years ago, we faced P.D. Brown in bring your weapons to the match or to the ring kind of match or something. And I think
that was a July
pretty
4th.
Dominant in that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I've been talking to MAW about doing a fans bring the weapons, because I think that's always fun. You never know what people are going to bring. The most wild thing that was at that one was a bag of flour that actually in the chaos never actually got used. But I'd be interested to see what a fans bring the weapons would look like in MAW.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting to see. Yeah, MAW's done a lot of stuff, so I think that's something that they got to put on their list sometime. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm in Dave's. I'm texting Dave every day. Brad, you should start doing that too.
Texting Dave every day.
Absolutely.
Texting. Yeah. I text Dave sometimes.
We've had contact.
Yeah. You got to take Dave in the ring someday, right?
Nah, Dave can be my manager if he wants.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He knows he doesn't want that stuff. He's a smart man. He's a smart businessman. He knows he's getting in the ring. He's gonna be my manager.
Yeah. Dave is a pretty smart dude.
So I got a question for the System. This is kind of behind the scenes. What were your thoughts on Scott Steiner?
Scott Steiner?
Gosh, behind the scenes, not in the ring.
I don't know if I had a a one-on-one conversation with them throughout the day. It was just one of those things where I'm kind of caught up in the commotion. We're caught up in the commotion. Maybe the most, interaction we had with each other is when I had to kind of shoo him into the bathroom a little bit so we can kind of bathroom promo. But I've watched the 6-man back with Rampage a lot, and that was it's a crazy match. Almost dropping cross on his head and everything, and but from all accounts, from what I heard, he was he was chill. But I didn't talk to him one-on-one at the show. We were all kind of caught up in the commotion of our own stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that was I saw that on YouTube, and it looked like a pretty cool event, and having the tag team and everything. So yeah, Scott Steiner and who wasn't it? The Warlord
Barbarian?
The Barbarian, yeah. Yeah, that looked like a pretty cool event. Yeah. Rampage likes to post about it all the time, so it's probably a big part of his career so far.
I was gonna say it's got to be a big highlight when you get to wrestle against some legends, especially if you used to watch them growing up. For me, it's being able to be by those guys, and the Barbarian was a true, just down to earth dude when he was in the locker room, and that's kind of what I was saying. Like, what'd you think? But it's cool to see people be that humble after they've been doing it for so long. Which I feel like most people would be because they haven't been in the spotlight for a long time, but you just never know.
They're life-changing matches too. I'll add that. They're like for a talent. If you're a young guy, like I remember when I was just breaking in, around 2019 or so, and being put in the ring with for Heavy on Wrestling. They put me in the ring with Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine, who will be at Turtle Lake, by the way, and who else? Colt Cabana. And then it was me, RJ City, David Arquette. And at the time, I was probably under 100 matches in, and crapping my pants the entire time, before, during, after. But it was absolutely mind blowing, because it was my first time being in the ring with, not just over guys, legends like that, but guys in that state of their career, and to see how they went about their business in the ring, and just the psychology they used to kind of protect themselves, but still put on just an amazing. It was just mind blowing. I learned so much being in the ring with guys who've been there and seeing what they currently do, and I just can't. Every time I see Dave Sabick, I can't thank him enough for that, because those types of matches, they were. It was just amazing, mind blowing how much I learned just being in the ring and seeing how they reacted in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is crazy. I didn't realize that a few years ago, and then coming up to this point, I didn't realize how many of these wrestlers are not just coming back for meet and greets and stuff, but actually doing matches, and then having giving you guys the opportunity to learn from them and create these big time matches, and obviously getting the people involved with it too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love to get the people involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so let's go with another question here. So I guess we can go back to the beginning of your career system. Talk about the start of your wrestling career.
Yes. So I, grew up loving wrestling. I thought it was just a weird high school phase, but then I went to the University of Minnesota, got a degree in economics, and during my entire time at the University of Minnesota, I'm just watching wrestling. I'm just doing my classes, barely passing them, and just watching wrestling with my fraternity buddies. I had a fraternity buddy who was also really into wrestling, and we just watched wrestling all day. And I believe it was right before my senior year of college, I went out and met a man named Greg McDonald, who was running primetime wrestling around the cities in the Bloomington Center. It was right before Steel Domain bought that venue from him, essentially. And I almost paid him $3,000 to train with him. I think Sterling Bond, Petey Brown, Stonehenge, Lore, a lot of those guys kind of started with him. They got their initial training through him. And so I went, set up a ring for him. I'm like, hey, I want to train. This is amazing. I want to do this. And he's like, great. You got $3,000. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And so I just decided, step aside, finish college. And then once I finished college, of course, my parents, who've been keeping tabs on me, they knew I loved wrestling. They're like, all right, you got the degree. This is what we wanted from you. Thank you. here's some money to help pay for your wrestling school because you know you want to do that so much. And so it's a very wholesome moment in my life looking back on it. So I turn around, call up Greg McDonald. I'm like, yo, I'm finally ready to train. And at that point, just amazing timing because the academy had just started up. Sean Devari and Ken Anderson opened up their school. I think it was late 2016, and I got to be a part of the third class, which started around like May or June of 2017. Which, looking back on it, is just like an abnormality in terms of like wrestling classes. Because usually you'll see, 20, 25 people show up the first day, a couple people take some bumps, and like 90% of the class is just gone within the first couple weeks. And then you'll have, your five people that actually want to stick around and like, they're too busy they're too busy marking out over the pain and then be like, oh God, this hurts. And leave. So, but I started the same day as, let's see, Coda Jacobs, JDX, Karanoia, Bill Williams, Damon Spriggle. There's so many others. I already said Bill. There's probably another 6 that like, there's probably about 10 of us that are still out here and rocking it. And it's just an amazing like pledge class of people that are just, we've grown so much. And, from there, it's just been, like I said, I was very lucky to start out with the academy when I did. And, being under the watchful eye of Ken and Sean, like they've gotten me opportunities that, not a lot of people can get just by knowing them and, where they're at. So I consider myself very lucky because I didn't really like seek that out in a certain sense. I just kind of fell backwards on it. I would have trained with Greg. I was ready to like train with Greg, just get in and go wherever. But started up, mostly made my name with AWF, and then now I'm primarily an MAW guy. But as you can see me in Below Zero, you can see me. I like working with David Hero. I like working with Ben McCoy out in Wisconsin. And I'm just trying to get my name out there. It's a lot of people do like to ask, hey, do you want to like, what's next? You're going for WWE, going for AEW. I try not to like hunt down something like that. I just try to like keep open and, I'm not trying to hunt something specific. I'm trying to find something specific. Whatever the right opportunity comes along, I just want to make sure that I'm open enough to be able to seize the opportunity when something comes my way.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of AEW, you were there at you were in the crowd at All Elite Wrestling Rampage when they were here in November. So, how was that experience to sit in the front row over there?
Oh, it was great. I got to play the role of wrestling fan, which was the first time role for me, as you could imagine. So I had to do a little bit of tape study. I had to like not watch the matches. I had to watch, the people watching the matches and see what they did. I called up Brad, be like, hey, what's it like being just like a huge mark for wrestling? What's that like? And he gave me some really good pointers about how to just like stand out and not be like a wrestler or anything. But I was sitting next to Petey, so that really helped too. No, it was great being back there. We got to sort of meet Tony Khan. Tony Khan came by and he actually like, gave us the time of day to be like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? So we're like, oh, hey, what's up? But it was great walking around, but and talking to everybody. Like I said, I've just been I just lucked into a grateful position where a lot of these guys, you see like a Brody King back there, but I already knew him from when Ken dragged me down to NWA or, seeing Fuego del Sol, but like, already knowing him from doing rookies shows up in Canada. And so like, oh, hey, it's my friend. So it's super cool. And I just feel like so lucky that I like fell backwards into the spot that I'm in.
Yeah. And then, since I got you guys on here, I'll try to go back and forth between asking you guys questions and talk about different topics. But for Brad, what was your inspiration behind coming up with NerdinOut, and how long have you been doing it?
I think with NerdinOut, I've always enjoyed certain things, and with it, it just got to the point where I came into a vast amount of Lego sets that I was buying. And what happened was I would start keeping them until they would go what they were called retired. And then once I did that, I would sell them basically like stocks, right? And then I started realizing, wow, I'm actually doing pretty good with this. And then I tried out for a semi-pro football team, made the team, and that's when I met my old business partner, and that's what got us to start it. I was working on this in 2017 as more of an online thing, to where it'd be like Facebook and eBay all in one, where people could go buy, sell, and everything. And then it turned into a full-fledged store, and we just ran with it, took off with it. My business partner at the time started it, ran it for a while. I jumped in, and really we took it to the next level. Opened up a second store. We started the Comic-Con. And then that's kind of how we ran into MAW. Was right before the pandemic, they came to us to see if we would want to have them there. And we started talking about it, and then it just fell through because of the pandemic. And then last year, I mean, Rochester loves wrestling, but I don't know if anybody would have expected. We sold out the floor. So we had the ability to sell up the upstairs too. And I honestly think if we come together again this year, I honestly think we could do that. I mean, it was such a good turnout. It wasn't even funny. And everybody you talked to absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So they put on great shows. And I've thought that ever since I've gone to watch them. I mean, as much as I hated the system, I loved him too because of what he brings to the wrestling gig. I mean, it's really hard to find personalities like that. And I mean, we've talked, you know, but I mean, yeah, I love what they do. I like their characters. Their guys are really friendly, and then they put you through a gauntlet when you don't expect it. So they know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a match made in heaven. It worked out. People loved the match. The wrestling wasn't not talked about for the longest time. I've got buddies that want to come with me again next weekend down to Faribault to watch again. But that's basically my backstory in a quick lump sum.
Yeah. That was definitely the Rochester show, and then upcoming Faribault show should be pretty good. I know they just announced Rika Dahaka, I believe that's her name. She just got I think she replaced another wrestler for being there. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like that she's been I think training for under Cody Rhodes or something. I saw some documentary, and she's been doing all these indie shows and everything. So yeah.
Yep.
So another question for you, System. I've kind of wanted to know this for a while, but I think it's funny either way. But what is your story behind calling Brian Sager Craig?
Bro, that's a very good question. And I believe I first called him Greg on my birthday in 2019. I think it was the show. It was back during the Prospect Cup. I know that for sure. And I believe it was probably my first match versus Jerry Ulrichter. And that was back when we were running shows in Neeson's. But I come out. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm going to, Jerry, I'll beat your ass. And then somewhere in there, I just called Brian Craig, thinking, because Greg Sager, he's a basketball announcer. So I was just like, I'm going to call him a different name. Or actually, I just probably didn't know it. I just didn't remember his name. And so I just called him Greg. And I just rolled with it. It was probably just like a mess up. And I was just like, oh, this is perfect. I am the new Chris Jericho. I will just call this guy a different name. And I just didn't find a natural way out of it. And I just thought, like, at a certain point I will, and it'll just die. And then Rampage started calling him Craig, and everyone else started calling him Craig. And now everyone refers to him as Craig. And Johnny calls him Craig. Yeah. And now he's Craig. So,
yes, he's Craig.
But, people can have more than one name. I like my nicknames. You know, people called me Sip growing up in high school. I gave myself some other nicknames, and now I'm the system. You know, you can wear that mask. But yeah, Craig is now Craig. That's definitely a thing. It won't die. I think we've tried killing it for like 2 years, but Craig's just got to realize that he's Craig now. So
Yeah.
but that's his problem and not my problem. I have bigger championship things to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
That's my name. All right? That's my name thing that I focus on, continuing to be called the champion of the Midwest, not Craig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I thought, yeah, it is cool that you brought up Chris Jericho, because I mean, Chris Jericho, he did the thing in 2016 where he called Mike Rome Tom, and then Tom Mike, and all that. So I think pretty much that whole year of doing the confusing names thing would got him over with him, and pretty much especially over with the announcers too. So I think if it's working pretty good, it's a good thing to keep around. Even I know Craig doesn't like.
I saved Craig's career. What was Craig known for before he was Craig? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I birthed Craig.
Yeah.
I brought him into this world, and I think I can take him out. But you know, I think he makes too much money as Craig for right now. So me being the nice man that I am in the professional wrestling world, I will continue to refer to him as Craig and give him paychecks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Craig. All right, so a question for you, Brad. Well, I guess it could be for both of you too, because it kind of pertains to both of you. But what are your favorite video games and consoles?
I'll let you take this system.
All right. Well, my favorite system is I grew up with a GameCube, so that's, you know, you can't take away your childhood game that, like, you know, you first started binging on. So a GameCube, and then I had like Game Boys and stuff like that. And so now I actually just stole my Wii from my brother, and so we'll still set that up and play. So that's probably my go-to as a favorite console. If we're talking more modern, I think I'm really into FIFA and Rocket League, you know, sort of those soccer games. But if I had to pick one, I'd definitely go with definitely like a Wii, but not like the Wii games, like using a Wii to play GameCube games, because GameCube's my stuff. I like playing the NCAA footballs before, you know, they stopped them. Let's see what else I play. Oh, Double Dash, Mario Double Dash. I somehow never got Smash growing up, but I played that a lot in college. But yeah, the Double Dash, the Mario parties, those are also just amazing, you know, kicking it with 4 other people and playing them. And then probably all the other sports games I haven't mentioned yet. I love, you know, NBA, playing that, and the Maddens as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that ain't my expertise. You got an expert in the room here about all the.
No, I'm not an expert at it. I mean, yeah, if we're talking newer, I play on a PS4. And
you own a business that starts with nerd. That's good enough.
That's a vast array of things, not just video games. But yeah, I play on a PS4 right now. I mean, system likes Rocket League. We all got our thing, whether it's Rocket League, Fortnite, Call of Duty, right? Because those always seem to be the 3 big ones. I'm more of a Fortnite guy. I go back and forth. I hate the crazy builders that play, but it just sucks you in. Otherwise, Switch. I love playing Mario Kart. Mario Kart's great. Can't get away from it. I agree with Mario Party. Mario Party is fun, just like Mario Kart is. I grew up with a Nintendo, and for me, those were the games. I can't really go back and play them now, because now you just see that Contra was the same thing as Batman, or Batman was the same thing as Castlevania. It's like you see the similarities in all these games, just these tiny little differences. But I agree. N64 was one of the all-time greats, because that's where Mario Kart started. That's where you had GoldenEye. And so for me, that probably would even be GameCube in that sense, even though GameCube was great and had a lot of great games too. I grew up a PS person, had all the PSs. So
yeah. I've been I'm always a big Mario Kart person. I played it on the DSi, the original DSi, and the 3DS when they came out with Mario Kart 7, and then done the Wii stuff and a little bit of the Wii U stuff. So yeah, Mario Kart's always a fun game to go back to, and it's always a fun game to play with friends and everything too. So yeah.
And you saw that look that System gave when I said Fortnite, right? He was basically covering his face. That's the person that doesn't play but knocks it and says it's because it's what all the 12-year-olds play. And then give him a chance, have him play a couple, and he's hooked. That's what happens to you. It's
you hit it on the head. I did try and play it at one point, but I couldn't build. And if you can't build, you're nothing. You're absolutely nothing in that game.
Yeah.
If you can't build.
And all you do is you keep trying. There's rumors are coming out with a no build mode. So I said once that happens, all the Call of Duty people will come. But also, if you keep trying with the building, you get better. Like I've gotten better at it. I'm not amazing, and it still irks me to this day when people are crazy good at building. But I get it. It's everybody's knock.
Yeah. It is crazy how big Fortnite has gotten. Just for the demographic of mostly of 12-year-olds, but now it's gotten to adults, and I never tried playing it just for that reason of like it seems ridiculous. But
Fortnite is what Facebook was 20 years ago, right? Facebook was for college kids, and now it's the oldest. What is it? Oldest median age for what do you call it? Social media platforms.
Social medias,
right? Yeah,
right,
yeah. And that's what's happening. More older people are getting into Fortnite, crazy enough, but then they're keeping the kids involved. They're absolutely brilliant. They're keeping everybody involved by bringing in movies, TV shows, all these characters that people love because now they can dress up like them while they're playing. I mean, these guys, they're marketing geniuses, really.
It's a good business model too of just making it free. Like you can
it's a free game, and all you do is
it's free, but then they get the skins, and then they get all the celebs they're coming in, and that's where they get you.
My 9-year-old comes to me all the time asking if he can get V-Bucks. It's nonstop.
Yeah, especially with all the modes they call the skins and all that. Like they've definitely made a lot of money out of that, and having pretty much all Marvel and DC characters and some movie characters. So definitely is a marketable company or games. So yeah. All right. So another question for you, System. So last summer you were involved in a steel cage match with Scott Story. So just go over just talk about the match and what you thought about it.
Oh yeah, it was that was my first ever cage match, so I definitely felt some nerves there. Definitely felt that itch to show some color. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was a fun little show. You like county fair shows because it's similar to like AWF, where we're bringing a product to a place where we're putting ourselves in front of a lot of people who actually may not this could be their first ever wrestling show, but you got the ring there and you got the people and you got the action, and that's intriguing in itself. And it's a really great test to say, hey, these people don't know what wrestling is, but they're going to see me and they're going to love me. And I'm going to get 10 kids to follow me on TikTok by the time the day is done here. So it gets really motivating when you get in an environment like that, where it's just, completely, it's just new eyeballs in a sense. And, this is what I do. This is my business. MIW has been really good to me. They've been really good to upcoming students from the academy, trying to make their name on the Minnesota scene. And so that was really, I think, my last time I worked for them. It's been pretty sporadic of recently, but Terry Fox has been really good to me. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that main event walking in. I just learned, hey, you're in a cage match with Scott Story, and I'll take a title match any day of the week, or an opportunity to take that title there too. So definitely the cage definitely didn't feel nice. I think I pretty much had him. As Brad knows, it's kind of a catch-22 when I get hit with my own violin. It's been to my own demise plenty of times. I think it's very taboo. These people get these wins using my violin against me. but
Mhm.
I think that there's a pendulum swinging back on people doing that, because I don't think they beat me clean, if that makes sense. They kind of like took a limb from me and kind of beat me with it. So it's kind of taboo in that sense. I would love a rematch with Scott Story. I'd love a rematch with anybody in MIW's MIW champion, whether that's Petey or well, Jaron, you're the professional wrestling encyclopedia of Minnesota. Who's their champion over there?
Who is it now? It was Scott. I remember Scott Story and Kyle Pro had held it. I can't remember who the.
You throw him on the spot. You throw him on the spot.
Yeah.
The poor guy.
You know nothing about this business, Jaron.
I know nothing.
You know nothing. You are a casual fan.
The
Casual fan.
I take back the encyclopedia comment.
No.
I wonder if maybe they have a. I know they're not gonna. It's not just gonna be on Wikipedia, but I wonder if it's on their page right now. But I forgot. I've been following the events where they've
to
been
save
going.
time, we'll just say that El Bano is champion there, and
Yeah.
El Bano don't want these hands. I beat up El Bano enough.
He's holding a title for MIW, but I don't think it's the world title or the main title.
Oh, like their Lions open weight or whatever thing.
Yeah, the open weight championship or something. So yeah,
thing,
he is. He's holding a title for MIW. But
I was going to say, the one thing I don't think that they do enough of, I think we're cutting each other off, and that's my bad. The one thing I don't think they do enough of is they don't recognize like what it takes to go through this stuff. Or even like you guys get to see everybody's personas. But like what System was mentioning earlier, like with his first title match, how he felt, I don't think they give you a really in-depth view of what that is like and what that feels like. Like, I don't know about you, System, but 10 minutes before the match started, I'm sitting back in that hallway doing squats, stretching, in my zone. 1 minute I'm excited. The next minute I'm nervous and scared and anxiety's hitting me. And everybody's walking up to me. How you doing? You ready? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And like, I remember looking at Ming Chen and I go, dude, I don't know if I can do this. And then literally you go to walk through that curtain and it's like, you got to understand, I had buddies over here and buddies over here and I saw nothing. I like put my hands out for high fives. That was it. I got in that ring. Everything like outside of the ring, you notice people, but it's not like it hits your brain like it normally would. Like when you think about it prior to, you're like, oh my God, my family's going to be there. Or I know all these people and I'm going to lose track of what I need to do. And then while you're in there, you think nothing about anything but what's going on in there. And I mean, it was just like, you go through so many emotions, not including, your goosebumps and your adrenaline rush and the excitement and the fun. But I don't think people see that enough. They don't get to see that side of all of you guys. And for me, I mean, I didn't even do as much as I would have loved to do. That was the one thing System and all these guys know. I said, I'll do whatever you guys need me to do. Because I don't want to be the guy that comes in and puts on a bad show or makes anybody look bad. I want to come in and do what needs to be done. And I will, put on as great of a show and do whatever moves, except for what Jimmy wanted me to do. That was insane. Whatever.
I think we could have done it.
Huh?
I think we should. I think we could have done it. I think Jimmy was right.
I mean, it would have been cool, but I'm telling you, man. I mean, I hear this from people all the time too, that your own head like gets to you, because even falling on that mat, you take one wrong bump, you feel it in your neck, and that just totally messes with you mentally the next time around.
Well, I'd argue you had the right day planned, Brad, and it's like the same day I had a lot of those days where you did the right thing by keeping yourself astronomically busy up until the bell rang, where you're just so busy running, NerdinOut Con. We didn't even get a chance to talk to you too much about it anyways, because you were back and forth. If you didn't have that, you would have been thinking about it for 72 hours up until the event came, and it would have ate you alive. Or, if it's your first couple of matches, I know for mine, you're always thinking, you're overanalyzing and everything like that. But no, I agree. It's like meditation, but also absolutely not meditation, but in a sense of you're kind of in a trance. Like you got to be in the moment. And it's just a crazy ritualistic experience happening out there. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to, there's so much more than what happens in that ring. What happens in the ring is honestly like 5% of like the whole thing going down, almost in a sense. There's a lot of moving objects, a lot of, planning leading up to it, but then, things you want to accomplish after it, if that makes sense. But I definitely agree. It is very like head clearing, but I think that's the wrong word. It's just, you are present, whether you like it or not. You're gonna be present, or we're gonna make you present.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether it is being a part of an independent promotion or a major promotion, the wrestling is will always be it's always fun for the wrestlers because that's what they're doing. But I mean, it's always going to be difficult on the body, and there's a lot that definitely goes into it. And yeah, I definitely have to pay respects to pro wrestlers that do this because it's definitely not an easy task. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for next question for Brad, are you? So you said I saw on your page that you do toys, video games, and everything. But are you into pro wrestling figures such as Mattel and Jazzwares?
Well, I grew up with Hasbro, right? So I even had the LJNs when I was a kid. I was a huge wrestling fan when I was a kid. I'll just show you a couple things really quick here because this will prove this is what I grew up on and I still have it. But I'm going to show you my all-time favorite wrestler too. So give me just a second here.
Okay. The suspense.
So this is one of the toys I grew up on right here. This is your Hasbro, right? This is the hard to get Ultimate Warrior in purple shorts, but this is my all-time favorite wrestler right here. Just what he brought, the intensity he brought, everything that he did for me.
I'm right here, bro.
Yeah.
Who'd he ever beat?
But also, Hulk Hogan for the championship.
I guess.
Body pressed, Andre the Giant beat Demolition in, 15 seconds or 12 seconds, one of the fastest matches there was back in the day. A buddy of mine that lives in Faribault that always comes with me to the MAW, him and I growing up, we used to have the wrestling buddies. If you remember those, what are they, like 24, not even 24 inches tall, right? I still have like an Ultimate Warrior one, but we used to pretend we were wrestlers and wrestle with those when we were little kids. We went and saw WWE. We got to meet Legion of Doom. The Rockers was one of my favorite tag teams just because back then they were so rare. They were high flyers. You didn't have that. You had these big muscle guys that just threw each other around. And it was just, I loved it. I actually start going back now even and watching the Attitude Era just because I appreciate it more and more when I wasn't into it then because I got out of wrestling somewhat. I go back to it now because I appreciate it more because of the personalities of Stone Cold and The Rock and Triple H. Their personalities just sucked you in. They made you believe. It was just so great, But we do wrestling figures. I love the old stuff. I absolutely love the old stuff compared to the new. Those LGNs, the big rubber dolls, they were so awesome. Even though they were so simplistic, they were awesome back then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I'm not gonna lie. MAW got me back into wrestling as an adult. Like I jumped out of it for a long time, and then I can't even remember where I went and like first saw you guys. I think it was in Faribault, like a long time ago. That's where I saw you guys, and then Faribault for the state fair one, and up in the cities at Lift Bridge, Cannon Falls. Cannon Falls was the first one. I took my son to that match. My son didn't even want to go at first, and then he went, loved it, absolutely loved it. And some of them were taunting him, and he was like, I remember at one point he looked up at me like, Dad, what do I do? And I'm like, you yelled at him, yell back.
Shit
And
on him, son. Shit on him.
Yeah, and he just started booing people, and and it was great. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, MAW and I guess any independent promotion is just fun to watch it because you get that up close experience to it, and then meeting the wrestlers, and then when you get the heel wrestlers, it's fun for the kids to yell back, and when you get the baby faces, they get the cheer for them, and I would say that. Mitch Paradise is probably the biggest wrestler in Minnesota right now, and he's always got the kids on his side. And remember, under the big top, all those events, kids are always cheering and having fun. So it's definitely great for the kids and adults as well. So yeah. All right. So yeah, for our next question, so I did him. So System, you're currently. You play the violin and everything. So talk about how you do your music career and how that's going so far.
Yeah, that's been the kind of coolest part about how my life has played out, really, because it's not really a gimmick. It's something I grew up with. You know, my mom would always tell me the story of like my great grandpa, like he made a living like being a violinist in like the pit orchestras, like back when like movies didn't have sound and you had like the orchestras for them and everything. And so basically he ended up relocating over to Minnesota, and I guess I run through a family of violinists and magicians. My uncle's a magician. But I took violin lessons starting when I was 7, and was pretty religious with that. Did orchestra all throughout my high school career. Was first chair my senior year of high school, and everything like that. But never really like had a passion for it. It was always kind of that, this is violin, you're doing violin, kind of the, you don't have a choice type of thing. And so I like put it down, never really played it outside of like a party trick in college and everything like that. I just never really considered, music a thing that I was into. I was into wrestling at like in college and in high school. That's all I wanted to do, was just like sit on my ass, be a couch potato, watch wrestling. And so I start off and I finally become a wrestler and everything. I choose the name of the System, which isn't like a, if I wanted to be an orchestra guy, I could have been like Stradivarius or whatever, like Beethoven WWE, like something like like that. I'm just rolling with Trust the System, and it's fun looking back and like seeing me like as a wrestler in tights, just looking like a regular wrestler. And then I believe it was my one and only Battleground appearance. I did a promo for it, and it was me and my buddy, my roommate at the time, Adam, who did a great little like a news reporter impression, or he'd be like, "Hey, Mr. System, what do you think about your upcoming match with the I gotta hook up with him and do another one of those. Those are some classic OG promos." But I was like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna get a pin, and I'm like holding up my violin. He's like, "Hey, is that a violin?" And one of the promoters is like, "Why do you own a violin?" I'm like, "Oh, I played since I was 7." He's like, I'm not gonna book you unless you show up with that violin." And so I guess the rest is history from there. Like, it got me into that promotion, slowly brought it to all the other promotions, and then I just started hitting people. Like I can't bring a violin into the ring and not hit people with it. So so it's with me for life. And then once quarantine happened, I did not want to get back into a ring. I decided, hey, this is a great opportunity, being holed up to kind of like expand on that. So I just popped open GarageBand, made a couple little tunes. And what was cool is just being a pro wrestler, and kind of have an idea of how to film everything. I was hitting up that homie Chavo with Rum Media. I was like, "Hey, I made a couple of these songs. Can I hit you up and do a couple music videos with you?" And he said yes. And the second one I ever did was that's how I got in with Prince Music Company. I just went in, met with Rick Williams, who's a sponsor with MAW. We used his store. I bonked him over the head. It's my acquisition music video on YouTube. And that kind of spiraled into me working for Prince. I was just like hosting a podcast. Rick was doing like Sunday showcases where he would bring in bands every Sunday into his store and, just giving them exposure. Chavo would film them, and it'd be like little tiny desk concerts. If you ever watch those like through NPR, just them in a random music store playing their sets. And then we decided to make it like, beyond that, like bring me in, and then we'll do like a little podcast with the bands afterwards. So they're getting, twice the content for the day. And so that was fun. We still do those sporadically. And then I started giving music lessons. And so I learned how to play ukulele, learned how to play piano, all through teaching ukulele and piano. I feel comfortable saying that now, but it's been a great way of just like reverse. It's the mentality that I want to bring. Once the academy gets back up and running, it's definitely like a mentality I want to bring where if you're coming in here to be a wrestler, wrestling has definitely, changed my life for the better. It's taught me how to, get in front of a crowd, public speaking, watching what you say, it forces you to post on social media. So it forces you to, get good at that. And, as a wrestler, if you're trying to stand out, you think of all these different ways of like how you can improve. Like I said, being in the ring is maybe only 5% of it. And so using the ring, I've always considered myself a pro wrestler first, but the ring has definitely been a great way for me to, find ways to improve myself outside of it too. And that's definitely a mentality that I want to bring to other guys, because it's easy to, use pro wrestling as an escape. I definitely started using wrestling as an escape, getting into storylines and things like that. But I think in the specific sense of becoming a wrestler, you don't have to become a wrestler to escape a shitty life. You can use wrestling to basically, give yourself a foundation and kind of just rocket yourself into whatever you want to be.
Yeah. He definitely hit on a lot of good points there with how it's not, it is part of your character and stuff, but it also is good to expand on yourself and just pretty much add on to yourself and your I guess value of yourself. So yeah. All right, so I'm looking at Facebook comments right now, and Brandon Harara says, "System, who do you model yourself after?"
Well, that's easy. You should know. He should know. You want to see my first ever MAW match? I come out with like a kimono. It says New Age Nature Boy on the back. And that it wasn't BOI, it was BO. It wasn't BOY, it was BOI. But Ric Flair was like the GOAT for me. Like, well, when I first grew up, I was a huge fan of like Jeff Hardy as a kid, huge fan of Rey Mysterio, of the small guys. I was like 4 foot nothing, like up until like my junior year of high school. So then I shot up, but I was like the little high flyers. I love Psychosis and WCW as a kid. But then as I start watching more into like high school and college, like Ric Flair was my guy. Also, and Mr. Perfect was my guy. I love those guys. And so it wasn't like I knew immediately, but it was kind of like my first day at the academy. I didn't have blonde hair, but like my first day there, I was like, I need blonde hair. And so I've just blonde hair ever since. And, it's good to model yourself after as a wrestler to start off, because you don't know what you're doing. And it's just, as the years have gone on and, you survive and you stick around, I think what I do is, entirely unique. And it's partially to my playing. I never like going out to the ring wearing the same thing twice, things like that. I'm always trying to innovate and, be my own thing. So, I definitely, to answer that question, Ric Flair, Kurt Hennig, they're definitely on the Mount Rushmore. I don't know who the two others are right now. Those two kind of change, but definitely those two.
Yeah. I was going back watching some old stuff, and he came out as the Nature Boy Boi, and I believe he faced Sebastian Taylor of the match that I watched. So it was cool to see.
He's back, baby. He's back.
He's back. Oh, he is back now.
Yeah, he was at. I think he was at the last AWF show.
Oh, he was.
I mean, to ask him how he went with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should ask him about that because he was battling he had a surgery or something, and then this injury and everything. So yeah, if he is doing his stuff now, it is good that he's back and everything because he is a good guy and great wrestler. So
he's another guy who started the same day as me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's cool.
Huh. Mm-hmm. All right. So what else we got? All right. So for Brad, so for Nerding Out, who do you have like a team or who helps you out at Nerding Out?
Yeah, we do. I have 2 store managers that do the day-to-day at each location, and then we have employees under them. And then we also have the Battleground laser tag that we own, and I have a manager that runs that. That one's been hit the hardest with the whole pandemic. It's been hard to give that one even a chance because when we started, you got to get noticed in any place you are, right? People need to know about you, learn about you, come play, and want to come back. And then we started picking up, the pandemic hit, and then we had to close up completely for like 6 months, I think it was, because entertainment was different from retail. And then we were able to open back up, and then it was like a month later, 2 months later, we had to shut down again. So we're finally getting our feet back under us there. But yeah, I have 3 different managers that run my locations, and then we have employees under them also. So we have like in all 12 employees total, I believe 13. I think it is. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's cool to hear a little bit about it because I didn't. Yeah, I never had heard about it Nerding Out until the NerdinOut Con and how they MAW promoted it and everything. So it's just cool to hear some stuff about it.
That's the beauty of partnerships and relationships right there, right? It's the same thing with our store and the Comic-Con. Is there's a lot of people that wanted these events but never heard of our store, or vice versa. They come into our store, they learn about our event, and it's the same thing. I don't think people realize everything that we do. So when you come into our store, and I'm sure a system can contest to this, it's kind of like you walk in, you're like, oh, okay. Because you think it's just going to be this tiny little shop that you're typically used to that's grungy looking and whatnot. And we're this big, open,
you got a lot of space,
clean store. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. I mean, my team, they work their butts off to bring what they do for the customers. It's really unbelievable. So, call us nerds, call us whatever you want, but at heart,
nerds,
we're customer we're customer service, and we put our heart in everything we do. So, including our video games, Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh man. And back on the Fortnite train now, huh?
I just wanted to see what look I got. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
When I started wrestling, I refused to do Fortnite dances. I flat out refused. But I think both of you can attest to this. Every single child underneath the age of 13 in this world today is programmed. Their mind is programmed to do all of those dances. And I refuse to do it. But I think this year I finally, like, it's been long enough where it's just I feel like I'm in like a Greek outfit where it's like it's just the way it is. And so if it's mostly kids, I'm just immediately hitting them with the because they'll mirror it back at you, and it's instantaneous. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is true,
and it hasn't died. Much like Craig hasn't died. The Fortnite dance has made me forever.
Yeah. So you're saying we're not going to see a Fortnite ring gear tights that you make sometime in the future?
We're not going that far. No, that would be awful. Absolutely. So I may bust out a dance for the children because the system's for the kids.
So Jared, I got a question for you. Have you ever been chopped before?
I have not. No. Well,
so
I think
system.
Not by a wrestler. My brother has, but I don't think I've gotten an official shot before.
System, hear me out. If he's gonna run a wrestling show, shouldn't he kind of have a pretty good idea of what goes into it?
I mean, well, Jared, are you running a wrestling show?
I mean, we're on one right now, right?
Is this considered it? I mean, yeah.
I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. This is like different though than like.
This isn't a promotion or anything.
And inserting yourself in the main event.
I just think everybody should be introduced at least once in their life. I'm a big advocate for it now.
You are.
How many times we got to teach you this lesson, Brad?
Brad has never taught enough lessons. Yeah,
I'm actually a little perturbed that he's going to be at Faribault. Now that I hear that, what's that point? Here's a goal of mine, because we've been running those Faribault shows. I want to pack that place. We've had it like half filled. I want it like all the way in the back, like that kind of packed. If we're running consistently over there, they're nice little shows, and I had the experience with the consistency in where was it? AWF ran it. It was a Steel Domain spot. The Richfield Legion. You ran there monthly, and those were nice. Those are nice shows. You get a nice little community built up there. MAW had Nascents for a minute. Yeah, Faribault, like that's the new Richfield Legion, where it's like, hey, it feels like we're gonna be here consistently. Same with Mounds, but it would be great to get Faribault like packed. So I wonder what we got to do. I might have to drag you back in there, Brad. Get there.
Yeah,
let's see what happens this next time.
System versus Brad and a bring your weapons from home match.
There it is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring my Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy with me.
Oh, Jesus. Smack across the head.
Tag team match.
Yeah, System. It is cool that you brought up the Richfield American Legion, because I remember going there. I started going to Steel Domain in 2017, and they had shows up when I was going. They had shows from 2017 to 2019 before they moved to the Bloomington Center. But I remember that place being I guess now it's just a great memorable place to think about it. And I remember those shows, and it was definitely a good time to be a Steel Domain fan, or just a wrestling fan in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So so for System, what other world titles do you hope to claim one day?
All of them. This is one big game of Agario. Have you played that game where you just the little dots and then you eat all the other little dots and you become the biggest dot? That's where I'm at. I will any promotion that's dumb enough to let me in and like scoop all their titles, like bring it on, baby. Like Below Zero Wrestling, they've been incredibly nice to me. They have no idea. I'm gonna kick Jack Ledger's ass, and I'm gonna take his title, and there's nothing they can do about it, because they're bringing me in consistently. I'd love to expand it. I'm gonna take it very seriously. Being the champion of the Midwest with Midwest All-Star Wrestling, I got to show everybody, not just in Minnesota, not just the Dakotas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Chicagoland. What else is out there? What are the forgettable states? Nebraska, Missouri. That's my territory. And if anyone's outside of that territory, they can come in here and get these hands too. Because I'm the champion of the Midwest. You can't be the best unless you say you beat me, which you haven't. I know Brad says he has, but if I'm DQ, I'm DQing somebody if I see someone hitting someone with a violin. So is what it is.
You're going to become the Kenny Omega of the indie territory.
That but better.
Oh, better than Kenny Omega. Yeah, because Kenny, I think only few people that I've seen are Kenny and Kurt Angle that have had like 10 belts at once, and they come out as just pounds of gold on them. So I think we got to see the System with that.
Have you seen a man with 10 belts and a violin
and a
bow? That's a lot. I don't have enough hands. Brad, you're gonna have to you have to put your nerd mind together and find some Cyclops arms for me so I can hold all these titles. That's actually why I roll in groups, man. That's why I roll in groups. Then there's more people that carry my titles around. But then it becomes hard.
So what you're saying is Jimmy is just a handler.
Oh.
Well, we could talk about it like it was last week when he handed the Hitmakers our tag team titles. So yeah, he could be a handler. But I'll use this point to bring it up. We still are the tag team champions, by the way. If you go back, you'll see that I made a tag and didn't tag out. So I was actually illegal for probably half that match. If I'm a referee, again, I'm disqualifying that match. I don't know why that match continued. We should have lost it by disqualification. We should still have those titles. So, Jaron, I know that you're a big propagator of professional wrestling around the Midwest. I just want you too, Brad. You're a nerd. I want everyone to just spread the word that that the Rising is still MAW Tag Team Champions. I know the nerds are probably already put it up. Can one of you guys go on to like Cage Match or something and change it back? Because by all means, like it was an illegal tag. RJ missed it. It should be a DQ, and we're going to be celebrating our 2-year anniversary with the tag titles in Turtle Lake this Saturday. I know, Craig, and I know because I call him Craig, and Craig does it, and Craig's just that kind of guy. He's not gonna do the right thing. But I'm just saying, Chavo makes great content. All right, my actual goal here is to get Chavo a full-time salary from Dave or Doc or anybody that wants, just quality production. This is a one-man crew, like putting professional wrestling on Fight TV. One man. Of course, there's Polish Joe and a bunch of people that come to the shows. They run the camera and everything. He's got his own crew kind of running now, but the high level of it is he makes amazing content. You can go on MAW Live on YouTube right now and watch that content. The SDW MAW Supercard. You can watch that on YouTube right now. You can watch our match. You don't need to watch the ending. But you can go and watch me. It's right before me and Jimmy give Nate a little double clothesline. There's a tag. I don't go out. I'm in for more than 5 seconds. I'm disqualified. So unfortunately, we lost, but we keep our titles, and so we're still your tag team champions of the world. And I bet if you ask Craig, that coward's gonna tell you that it's the Hitmakers because he's a secret Rampage Santana fan, which is I have no respect for those people.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Rampage and Nathan have definitely
Andrew James just disregard people. Brad's okay now because I know he's not a Rampage Santana fan. I think he used to be, but now he's kind of cool. That's why it's water under the bridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you can't be a Rampage fan anymore, Brad.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, I'm looking at Facebook right here, and Brandon Herrera says, what is a system dream match?
A system dream match? Oh, I've made it very clear that I'm very comfortable inviting fans into the ring and beating their ass. So Brandon can jump in the ring, and I'll make him do a quick little drop down leapfrog, and then he can fall on the floor and start panting, and then I'll pin him 1, 2, 3, and that'll be and that's the dream match.
Yeah. Wow. Dream match with Brad and the system. All right.
No, it's the dream match between the system and Brandon. Brad and the system already happened.
Oh,
there was a lot of chops.
Over this. Oh, yeah.
We can have Brad discuss Jimmy's chops again.
Said Brad. I think he said okay. Or Brandon. Okay. Yeah.
Brandon asking the questions.
Jaron, I think Jaron wants a chop. I think he's asking questions like he wants a chop.
He's daydreaming of chops.
He'll earn one. I'll earn a chop.
I'll give you one at the next Ironheart show that you come to.
Oh yeah. I think there was a show in Rosemont that I was going to or something in March, I believe. Rampage showed a poster, but I never saw the poster on the Ironheart page, so I I don't know if Rampage is false advertising or something, unless he just found it. But yeah.
No, I believe Ironheart's running 2 in March. I think they're back to back, the 18th and 19th, but the locations I do not have in my mind right now. But that's also another spot where I'm coming after gold, probably, definitely. I mean definitely, and by definitely I mean it's happening. I'm talking about it. When was the last time we heard me talking about winning a championship? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, who is the? I saw him last time. I forgot his name now.
You're talking about the placeholder champion before I win it.
Yeah, yeah. Who's currently placeholding the title for the system?
I don't think we don't want to do them a disservice and say their name like that.
Oh, you don't want to do it? Oh, okay.
I believe it's Xander Killen. I think the Iowa guy.
Xander Killen defeated some.
If we gotta name names.
Yeah. I'm looking through their page right now. Where is it? So they were. Okay, I got his picture. What is it now? Got to call him out so system can roast him.
I feel like he already did that.
Yeah,
yeah, I guess he did.
Oh, this is the part where we're talking about what we're looking at while we're talking to each other. Brad, I'm looking at the Brazilian meat section of the Fogo de Chao website because I wanted to make sure I knew what my favorite one was. But I think it's honestly the ribeye. That's kind of because like ribeye is probably like the cheapest one, but I remember their ribeyes is probably the best.
I mean, I'm gonna be back up in March, so that's gonna happen regardless.
You know what's happening. It's gotta happen. Fogo de Chao's the best. I want to get sponsored by this place, honestly. I don't know if I'm Brazilian enough.
You might have to wear a meat necklace.
Yeah, I don't know.
You might have to wear a meat necklace.
A meat necklace. All right. I think I almost got his name.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh yeah. So the former champion was Leon. How do you pronounce Leon Giovanni? And then Xander Killen defeated him at the last Ironheart show. So now Xander's the world champion of the Ironheart territory.
For now,
so I guess.
And by territory, you mean my territory because they run in the Midwest.
Your territory.
And I'm the champion of the Midwest.
Yeah. All right. So another question for Brad. What are some of the coolest items that you have sold at the NerdinOut Con or have had before?
That we've never had before,
or that you've sold or have had that you currently have in your store?
Yep. Well, one of the coolest we took in not too long ago that's pretty hard to get is a Silver Surfer issue number 1 from like 60 something, I believe. And that one sold about a month ago. That was super cool. It was about $1,000. We currently have in one of our stores a Hot Toys Batmobile that's like 3 feet long or something. It's huge, and the cockpit opens up, lights up, everything. It's $1,500. I don't know. We've had a lot of this stuff is cool to me, but those are probably some of the more rare, hard to get things. I'm trying to think what you guys would be familiar with where you'd even care. Right now we have this little Mario system there. It's only but still $300, but it's not even a system. It's this little, like almost mini looking arcade game. And it's before it was even like Mario. So it looks like Donkey Kong on the screen, and it's a projector from up top. I've never seen one in my life, and we have one in store right now. It's so cool. Still plays, still lights up, everything. So
wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah. So another question for system. So you've had all these really, I would say, really cool gears and very designed gears. So who is your gear maker, if you can name them, and how do you come up with the designs, or how did they come up with the designs?
Yeah, the like the little system trunks, Rusev-esque trunks that I wear. Those are made by Craven Knight and his production. And I got them quite a while ago, like back in 2019, and I've just rolled with them ever since. They've held up really nice. The leggings, I've gone through. I own probably damn near 40 different leggings now at this point. Even tried dipping into drop shipping for a minute there, but I just kind of like, just finding nice ones and buying them, and it helps me, change things up. So Craven for the trunks. The leggings have been I wear strictly women's leggings from now on, by the way, and I have no qualms discussing this. They're much they fit much better. Like the ass and legs look so much better in the women's leggings, and that's just. And this is a man who's tried on many different leggings. I'm not afraid to burn leggings if they're trash. So I strictly only shop for women's leggings right now. And then for boots, I get my boots from a guy called Ace. He's down in Texas, and I'm always throwing out his name if anybody's looking for custom made pro wrestling boots. He's done all three of mine. I have 3 pairs now, and he's done just an amazing job, just from communication to getting them out within like a couple months. And they're all custom. Just like, hey, can you do something like this? Just draw it up, send it to him. So Ace is my guy. You can DM me if anybody wants more information on him. But that's the full attire at that point. I lost my kimono. I miss doing my kimono promos. But I've just been rolling with kind of the top varies, but it's kind of the fun. It's that beyond the 5% you're talking about is sort of the presentation of it all, and I'm always thinking about it. But yeah, for the look, that's the setup, man. That's the setup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, Craven Knight is definitely great with his gears, and been following a lot of his stuff on Instagram, and that's there's definitely a lot of inspirations for gears that I want to make from just his page alone, and did make a Craven Knight figure with one of the posts that he did. It was a black and a blue trunks gears, so he definitely does great work, and that's why he's the tailor of the squared circle right now.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's a shoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the best gimmicks.
Yeah. All right. So back to the Facebook comment sections. I guess Leonard Literacy's in the section, and he's asking Brad which Batmobile the number. Was that
Larry Library?
Larry Library. Yeah. He's in the chat currently right now.
What's up, Leonard?
He's asking which Batmobile, the Tumbler or the Keaton Batman?
It's the 1989 Michael Keaton Batmobile.
Okay.
The Hot Toys Tumbler comes out here, I think, this year, actually. But yeah, it's the 89 Keaton Batmobile.
Nerd.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Do you watch a lot? Or, I mean, I know. Oh, yeah. Aren't they coming out with the new Batman with the former Twilight guy or something?
March 4th. I'm a huge Batman fan. I actually my arm over here is Batman from here to here, and I'm getting more added. But yeah, huge Batman fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Batman
eccentric
is a pretty
billionaire.
Cool yeah, he's a billionaire. Mm-hmm. The superpower is being a billionaire, I guess.
This is a good one. We asked me about wrestling, but we haven't asked System who his top 3 superheroes are. Let's go deep into that mind.
I'm the number 1 superhero, obviously.
The System is a superhero.
Number 1 superhero. But if pro wrestling is off limits, because we're talking about the same thing, in that too. I like Iron Man. I'm not going to put too much thought into this. I'll probably change my mind once we turn this off. I'm going to have this just over-stimulating revelation at the dentist a couple weeks from now. I'll change all three answers. Iron Man. I also love Batman, so I'd put Batman too. And I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know if I want to single out Drax or anything like that. I mean that was a fun superhero. I'm talking more about the movie at this point. I'm just going off of characters I like. That third one, let me think. I also love Justice League, but that's the whole squad. I loved Avengers too. The Avengers was a better movie, better franchise, for movies. But again, I'm starting to Radagast on movies. Iron Man number 1, Batman number 2, and we will go with number 3. We'll go with John Cena's superhero. What was he?
Little Peacemaker.
I haven't even seen the movie yet, honestly. But I've seen him in the Suicide Squads, but I didn't see his new movie yet. That's just my cop out for number 3 because I'm blanking.
I like it.
Yeah, it's crazy that John Cena himself is a superhero in the wrestling universe, and now he's an actual superhero in the DC universe. So it's crazy to see that John Cena is an actual superhero in a movie. So,
isn't it crazy? And I go back to what System said earlier about how it changes your life, and wrestling helps you with doing social media or putting yourself out there. Isn't it crazy to think of some of the wrestlers that have crossed over from wrestling into movies and had great success? Like you were just saying, Batista. Batista not only has done Drax, but he's done other movies, like more kid movies, but he's done movies. John Cena's done a wide variety of movies, right? It's not just superheroes. He was in those movies with Marky Mark. I can't remember Who's Your Daddy or something. I don't know. And then The Rock, obviously, who's probably had the biggest career in movies.
The Rock, yeah.
I had a lot of when I was doing the podcast at Prince and talking to a lot of the artists. It was pretty easy forming a bond because we find that it's kind of the same with being in a band as well. You're on the road, grinding and just trying to get the crowd in the palm of your hands, and so it's that with a lot of things. Pro wrestling is just kind of everywhere and everything, but it's then you can find something in common with a comic or any sort of other entertainment, and that comes over into acting as well. And it's true the other way as well too. I think David Arquette's done pretty well for himself, starting off as an actor and then making a little pro wrestling career for himself as well. Hey, he got to be on my team. He's got to be doing something good for himself. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is the entertainment world. It's the pro wrestlers are. The redneck anime pro wrestlers of the world were very, honored to be, in the same realm of entertainment as your movie stars of today, and as well as comedy and what else other people do for fun? What do you do for fun? Throw sticks at people, something.
Trip them with a stick.
Throw sticks at Brad.
Oh man, but yeah, with movies and wrestlers, I've pretty much, at least all the newer ones, I've pretty much watched all the newer Rock movies now, like Rampage and Skyscraper and Jungle Cruise and Fast and Furious and everything. So he's definitely done a lot of stuff now. And yeah, I guess I could segue into are you guys big Fast and Furious fans or know much about it? I'm hoping you guys do. No,
I watched the earlier ones.
There we go.
But I'm not a niche enthusiast like I was with the Saw movies. where you watch all 6 and all 7, and then you like first in line for Spiral and stuff like that. But it's kind of the same gimmick. Whereas like once you get to 4 or 5 or 6, it's like, oh, this is really kind of just like a gore niche. Like people just like seeing people getting tortured and their heads cut off and shit. Same with, I feel like it's probably the same with the Fast and Furious. If you're sitting there for like, 6, 7, 8, 9, you just really love cars. But that's just a hot take for me. What do you think, Brad?
I was in it for Paul Walker. Once he was gone, I was out. It started out, I felt like the movies were more complex. Now it's just action and stars is what it's come down to, right? Fast and Furious was never about all the stuff it is now. And I don't know if they felt they had to go the storyline or if this is where they started and they wanted to go down that road. But now it just seems like it's more fighting, guns, action, where before it was what? Car racing, drifting, the story of like what I feel was like not underprivileged, but people that didn't have a lot of money, and they put it all into this passion of cars and doing these things. And it's just gone away from that, I feel. So I'm with System. I'd rather watch all the Saws.
Yeah.
All the Saws are great, by the way. And the new one, Spiral, that came out, that was great. I'd say probably the worst one is probably the finale. I think the finale to the Saws were kind of like, I don't know, that one's just different. Like, I don't know, it seems a little more over the top with what they did.
You got to always make it bigger. That's the problem. And they started off, I remember when that movie came out, I thought it was brilliant. It was so good.
The first one is iconic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they just, how do you top it? That's the thing. A sleeper movie, if you guys really want to check out a movie you've never seen it, is The Collector. The Collector. Have you ever seen it?
No. What's that about?
Jaron?
I haven't, no.
Okay. So it's basically about this guy who sneaks into this couple's house. And then it's like Saw. He's torturing them. He's doing all these things. Well, this other guy actually has to go and rob this guy's house. But when he goes in, he can't get out because this guy that's in there torturing these people has like set up all these elaborate things so people can't get away. Right. And this guy wears this mask. It's killer. And then they did a second one, and the second one was really good too. And they stopped there. So I feel like they did really good doing that, but I'd love for them to come back out with another one. Cause that movie got me like, I feel like it was one of those movies that was under the radar, but The Collector #1 is like one of those movies
when
where
was
you're
that
just
one made?
Huh?
When was that one made?
10 years ago, something like that. I want to say. But it's so good. I would recommend that to anybody, honestly. Actually, System, go see it go find it before next Friday.
Okay. I got it written down. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. Speaking of horror stuff, I think I'm not sure if the season is done or if what's going on with it, because I haven't seen it for a little while. But I was watching the new Chucky series, and the first few episodes of that was pretty good.
Couldn't stay into it.
I
did enjoy it, and I thought it was good, but I couldn't. It like once you break away from it, I just couldn't go back to it. If that makes sense. Like some shows, I can wait a week, and then I'm like, I gotta see it. That one I just couldn't do.
You're talking new Chucky series? I know like the movies is like the new thing, like a show, or is it like new movies?
Yeah,
it's a new
show.
Chucky
show now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about the doll.
Yeah.
The red-haired doll.
Yeah.
In the new Scream movie, David Arquette, talking about David Arquette, the new Scream movies, that's actually pretty good.
I actually don't know if I've watched a single Scream movie. Shows how much well, I guess I'm not a nerd. Actually, I don't know.
You've seen every Saw movie.
I have. Yeah. That's all I watch. It's on repeat.
That's all you watch. Oh man. But I would maybe have to go back and see if it did get worse or anything. But I just remember at least those first few episodes were good. I just thought the kids were kind of scary. Well, it's supposed to be scary, but seeing disturbing kids is always terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably got through 6 episodes, and I just didn't pick it back up. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of another show, they're coming out with season 4 now. Cobra Kai. Have you guys watched any of that?
I'll fall into that trap. I have.
Mm-hmm. I still have to see season 4, but I did watch all 3 seasons, and it was really good. I think I binged it for at least I binged it for the first few seasons, and then the third season I was watching here and there. So yeah, the Cobra Kai is really interesting. I never watched the Karate Kid movies, but it was just like I got a little just backstory on it, and it was cool just to bring history back and stuff. So yeah, I wish they did like a show with I don't know, like yeah, but it was yeah, Cobra Kai has been a pretty big I guess show right now on Netflix, and I see it all the time in news articles like this star or the movie or the show is made so much money and everything, so it's been pretty good.
I believe
Yeah.
it. I believe it. So one thing I do want to bring up too here, Jared, I don't think I've ever done this except for right after the match. I've reached out to David and said it to them, but I don't think I've said it to everybody else. But I just want to thank everybody that allowed me to be a part of that. Like BJ, Jimmy, System, David, Leonard, and why am I blanking right now?
This sounds like a goodbye speech. Your ass isn't done here.
I'm not
There's
retired.
revenge coming your way, bitch.
This is
Don't
not
fucking
I'm
start this
done.
shit.
This is these guys taught me so much.
This is like I'm about to get off the stage. Like there's roses on the stage. Like I had my great fucking main event, NerdinOut Con 3. If you don't book a NerdinOut 4 wrestling card, I will just do what we did last time. Show up at the actual NerdinOut Con. We'll find you in your cosplay woman gimmick, whatever you're dressed up as, whatever you're dressed up as. And we'll I'll bring Johnny with, and we'll just guerrilla footage, pro wrestle you right there.
So okay, let me say one thing. This was you guys taught me a lot. It was a lot of fun, but in no way, shape, or form would I back down from a challenge. In no way, shape, or form will MAW not be back. So I'll throw those two things out there right now. This was more of a.
Your head's hanging pretty low when you said that.
But. No. My camera's up here. That's the difference. Yours is like here.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. This isn't a goodbye. This is if those guys call me up and say, hey, we want you. This is what's happening. I'll be right there ready. 100%.
100%. Yeah.
This dumbass is really going to show up to Faribault after we tell him he can't be showing up to these shows.
And he's going to get chopped by the system and the rising.
I think it's my turn to deal a chop.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see you try that. I would love to see you try that.
Yeah, I feel like now that you've taken these chops, I feel like you should have learned the proper technique of chopping by now, right, Brad?
I should have a really good idea of what that looks like. I got to see it for 2 days straight on my chest afterwards.
Well, we were aiming for your throat, so you did a good job dodging it.
Yeah.
That probably is true because I had marks everywhere from here to here. So.
Oh, God. Yeah, those chops, just seeing the marks after you guys take those chops is insane. And it's even insane, like, outside independent wrestling, how Bryan Danielson in AEW takes those chops and his whole chest is just red. I'm like, I mean, unless the chops are, like, super bad, like, his chest just gets super red. I just don't know how it happened. But, yeah, chop is probably the most brutal move in all of wrestling, and that's probably why a lot of the legends, after taking it from Ric Flair, probably just hated it so much. I remember there was a pod. Yeah, it was Inside the Ropes show. Bret Hart was on it, and he was talking about taking chops from Ric Flair, and I think he told Ric Flair, like, if you chop me, I'm gonna like beat you up or something. So yeah, those chops are pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You guys did cover a lot of my notes that I did here, and Brad had I guess not technically a goodbye speech, but I mean it was a good yeah, it was a
He
good
thought he did something there.
a good message right
You
there.
guys took that all wrong. That was me just showing my appreciation, and now he got me worked up.
No, I know
You
what
got me-
that was. That was
You got me
it was
almost
so
announcing I'm
great.
coming back. I'm not feeding
Somehow
into this.
figuring out how to get a W at
No.
this event that I totally didn't earn.
Oh,
I just mooching off of Jerry's
Whoa.
actions there. I'm just gonna steal my win, get my
Oh.
just keep rubbing it in, Brad. Keep rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you he was good at this? Didn't I tell you he was good at this?
Speaking of Brad, I thought we were gonna have Crixus on this show.
Have who?
Who's that?
Oh, I guess that, or maybe I said Brad and I thought it was him. That's why this is the last minute. I was like, it's that Brad.
Oh God.
So I would have never agreed to do an interview like this with this guy after what he did to me. Not even what he did. He was just very lucky.
He was just very lucky. I mean, you got the chance to beat up on him. Wasn't that a good thing?
But wait, you did go back and watch the video, you said, right?
Me? Or which video?
No, System. Didn't he say he went back and watched it?
Which video?
Of the match?
Which match? I've had many. I know you had one, but I've had many. So you got to be more specific.
Our match.
I have watched it back on Fight TV.
Yeah.
Anybody can. They can go on Fight TV and watch it. It's actually on YouTube now too.
For free.
Yeah.
Yes, for free.
I'd recommend it.
I think it's been a while.
I'd recommend paying Fight TV so that we get better deals going forward. But if you want to watch it for free, I guess.
I just said I'd recommend watching it.
I would. I'd recommend watching the first half, or the first 70% of it.
The first half.
Yeah, first 70%. Once you get 70% into our match, I think we're good. I think once they see you going back, getting injured and getting helped back throughout the curtain, that's probably when we could have jumped the gun there and just turned it off. Chavo could have just fell asleep and sat on the red button. Unrecorded.
Yeah, you saying the first 70% is only going to be in your new documentary that you make sometime? You're not going to show the part of Brad winning.
Hey, those documentaries are all Johnny Oxbow, baby, and he's going to be coming with me to most of the MAW events. We'll see if we can get him on the other ones as well. But yeah, maybe we'll get Brad an interview. See if he wants.
Yeah. What was it like to get beat by? Oh no. Yeah.
Are you really going to go there? Are you really going to go there?
Yeah. So get beat by Brad. Oh man, that would be a pretty interesting documentary though. It'd get a lot of likes. That's what you like, right? What everyone likes the system.
Likes. I don't do it for the likes, Jared. I do this for my legacy. I don't do it for the immediate likes. I don't do it for that. That's a very addicting thing nowadays. Is those immediate likes?
Yeah, so, yeah, it is a little bit odd. Yeah.
I just hope that we can create some content that can withstand the test of time. I want to be famous when I like 50 years after I die. People be like, "Why is this violin guy in the ring doing stuff? This guy's great."
Who's that violin guy in the blonde playing the violin during the match? Yeah. Yeah, I think. Back to like the Scott Story thing. I think he smashed you with the violin, and I remember one of my friends, he picked up a part of the violin, so I just have a part of your red violin from that show.
That was not a happy moment for me, but I'm glad you got some sort of joy out of that.
Yeah. It was super loud. I'm like, oh my God, he just cracked him in the head. So, yeah.
Yeah, they hurt. That's why I use them.
Yeah.
That's like my shit. It's my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't be destroying all your violins. It's a violation against the system, right?
That's right. You're not gonna have Jeff Jarrett on the show and be like, "Hey, remember when you got hit in the head with your own damn guitar? That was so great. Oh my God, I kept a piece of it. You want to sign it?
You want to sign it? Oh yeah, that's a dream match you should have. Jeff Jarrett versus the system, huh?
I finally met him. At Blizzard Brawl in I think it was early January or late December. I was a Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, ran by Dave Hero, and he was nice enough to invite me to come along, and I just did a little battle royal thing. But I was Jeff Jarrett was there, and I was able to finally meet him. And who knows? We exchanged some remarks, maybe exchanged some info. Maybe there's a With My Baby Tonight remix in the works here. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I really wish I could have gone to that Blizzard Brawl. That was when I saw the card on that. I'm like, there's like 100 wrestlers on this card. It's insane, and you got Strowman and EC3 on there, and yeah, it was definitely stacked on there.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember clips of Evil Sierra versus Serena Deeb. That was pretty cool to watch. Serena Deeb's been pretty good on AEW, and Sierra's been she's the Discover Pro Wrestling champion now, so she's doing pretty good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah,
her ass better watch out. I've been in discussions with Eric. I want his championship too. I'll give him that same Agario story, baby. You don't want this dot coming in with all these little dots. That's what happens to the little dots. They get. Not to say that Sierra's a little dot, though. Champion of the Midwest.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All we can say is yeah. But yeah, that's something we got to have is System versus Sierra sometime. Nope. What? Oh, I think. Yeah.
It's King of the Hill reference. Anyone didn't.
Oh, okay.
God dang it, Bobby. What you know? What do you know about that damn King of the Hill, man? You know, little dang old fucking King of the Hill. You know, little dang old. Okay, Dad. Stop. Oh, damn it,
wait, is this
Bobby? Doing your goddamn impressions on fucking Jared's podcast. I'm sorry, Dad.
That doesn't even sound like Bobby. Have you ever watched Mad TV? Have you ever watched Mad TV, the series? That sounds like more. Yeah, it sounds more like that one guy. Oh God!
I only remember Key and Peele from Mad TV.
Right.
Who are the other? There's other people though that like people get.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he played a little kid and he always did inappropriate things, and it sounded more like him. Go back and watch it. You'll see what I'm saying. You'll hear that voice.
Okay. All right.
Did you know?
Oh yeah, you should System. You should do a Craig impression. What does a Craig impression sound like?
A Craig impression?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see here. Ladies and gentlemen, in the center of the ring, Brad
that was perfect. The good old Craig. Yeah, he does the muscles and everything. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he used to pretend to be Hulk Hogan.
That's
That's what Craig did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Craig did before he was Craig.
That's what he did.
I saved him.
Yeah. You saved him.
He pretended to be a racist. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go there.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I was looking back. I heard one time, he was a wrestler, and then I was going back, and I guess he did have a good career or something. So I watched a little bit of his stuff, but yeah.
It was before my time. Before your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can only imagine when Craig versus the System could have been right back then.
Yeah, Craig.
If they're lined up.
I don't think that smoke. I don't think he wants that smoke. He doesn't want me coming after his position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
This needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship for me and him. Because I'm the poster boy of his promotion. So he's he gets fed by me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the champion. Who's the champion, Brad?
Who's undefeated?
Who's undefeated?
That's not
the right answer.
First name Who's, last name Undefeated. That's not a wrestler. Nice try. The correct answer was me. Is that right, Jaron?
Yeah.
Yep, don't agree with him. Don't agree with him.
Yeah.
Don't agree with him. Yeah, every time System's every time they've said he's lost, there's always been a stipulation that where I think something happened. So I would say he's definitely undefeated right now.
This guy gets it. Never lost a match in my life, Brad.
It sounds like Donald Trump. Every time something happens, there's always
Let's not get too political in here, Brad.
That's about as political as I'll get.
Yeah, politics, man.
I'm all about talking about the system, though.
Yeah, you're all about that. Yeah.
The only politics happening in this chat room right now is Dakota Jacobs, and that's final.
Dakota Jacobs, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, he's the political guy. Yeah. I approve this message, Dakota Jacobs. You guys should be a tag team or something. I think that would work out pretty good.
I don't think it's too much ego. I don't think it would ever happen.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that's true.
I see the classic turn on each other scenario.
I don't know. There would be some revolving, but we don't know who would be the center. But we all know it would be me. I think he was different.
Yeah.
Dakota Jacobs is a member of the Rising, I believe. He was with us 2 years ago at our Turtle Lake show. He teamed with BJ versus Barbarians, I believe. But yeah, I was right then and there. I was like, from now on, Coda, you're a part of the Rising. Get in this content with us. And he did it. And then he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be. And I'm like, no, you're a part of the Rising. And then I sent him over official Rising contract paperwork where everyone gives me 10% of what they make. And he hasn't returned that yet, but it's a very exclusive honor to be offered a spot in the Rising. And Coda is the type of guy to be offered a spot. Mr. Russian, he's also a part of the Rising, the real Drago.
Oh, yeah.
We also got Sheik Adnan El Casey.
Oh, yeah. She managed you at Liftbridge. So,
yeah, it was a very lucrative signing. Brad remembers him.
I remember Sheik.
We spit hot fire right in front of you, Brad.
Yeah. I guess I can segue into another question. How was the Rising originally formed?
It was a random Fairbow show. It was right as it was before Chavo, so we didn't have we were sort of running them. It was probably just like a summer type of show where it just wasn't filmed, unfortunately. And I've spent time trying to find that footage, but we don't have it. But it was just a Faribault show. And a Faribault show where I believe me and BJ were already a tag at that point, but that was where we brought on Jimmy. And it was me, him, and Jimmy. I think we beat up Leonard or Jerry or both, or just another day on the job in MAW, beating up Leonard and Jerry. It's a passage. You literally picked the worst two people, Brad, for your tag match. I don't know why. They were probably the only two that said yes. Actually, they probably didn't say yes. They probably said, "Oh yes."
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we beat him up, and then we were. That's when I dropped the Rising, and I think the event itself was called the Rising as well. And from then on, management was like, "Hey, we got something here, the Rising."
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't no Drew McIntyre, and this ain't TNA, but this is a whole new. This is a whole new Rising, baby, and it ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere as long as I'm around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Rising has definitely grown. These was it a couple years now, or is it a year? I forget. Or when was it?
We're about to be tag champions for 2 years coming up this Saturday. We won the tag champions at Turtle Lake, and so we're going to be going back to Turtle Lake 2 years later. We're going to take that upon ourselves, make that our 2-year anniversary celebration with our titles that we never lost.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 years of the Rising, huh? Yeah, I think
2 years plus.
What was it? 2 years plus. Yeah. It's not over yet. Mm-hmm. Still gotta keep getting that gold, and that's another thing you guys should do. Be a tag team and get all the gold across the Midwest. Mm-hmm. The tag team.
I'm open to anything, man. Like I said, I'm water. I flow, baby. I will. If an opportunity presents itself, I'm putting myself in a position to find it. I'm not gonna try and keep myself too narrow to certain things, because then you can miss other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's been definitely. Your career in the Rising has definitely done a lot, and it's always cool to. I feel like I've seen you at every single event that I've gone to, and I didn't even expect you to be at the Ironheart. I guess we could talk about the Ironheart you versus Killa Kate from, what was that, December? Yeah, I think it was December.
Yeah, something back there.
What was it like?
Yeah, it was my Ironheart debut. But yeah, that's I'm very bullish on Ironheart Pro. They're bringing in a lot of outside talent, which is something you don't see a lot of independent promotions doing. MW just got to that level too, but they're right out the gate. They got deep pockets. They got a great promoter. They got a great booker. I was lucky enough to go in, start off doing ring crew, and a spot just opened up. And granted to say I wasn't ready for it. I was probably quite a few beers deep when Killa Karen came out and wanted to beat me up, but I think Brad can attest to this. I got a face that people just kind of want to pick a fight with. They want to see a dude get beat up. So I wasn't. I really don't classify myself as a man who would fight a woman, but when you're a couple beers deep, it becomes a little bit easier. I would say. That being said, she did slap me first, and then she did slap a whole can of ale out of my hand, which I don't know how you were raised, but that's just something you don't do in my household. So I guess I accepted that challenge right then and right there.
And wait, by ale, slapping ale out of your hand, you mean beer, right?
Yes.
And you don't do that in your household, but you did it to me at Liftbridge.
Well, you provoked it.
Do
I gotta remind you that I told you not to come back to the shows at the Rice show, whatever that the Rice County show. I told you not to come back, not sit front row and laugh at me as Rampage shit cans me out of the ring. Like, what am I supposed to do there? Be like, oh yeah, like the thing I told you there, like I'm actually full of shit. Everything that I say, it doesn't matter. So when I told you not to come back and you still showed up, it was like, oh, that means that's fine because like anything that I say, it doesn't matter anyways. I just say shit to blow like smoke up my ass. No, I got to do something, Brad. I got to do something because you didn't listen to me. Anyways, so yeah, I'm beating up this woman, and crowd's going crazy. By the way, I appreciate you cheering for me, Jaron. A lot of everyone else in Ironheart Pro, they were really getting behind me. They really wanted to see Killer Karen get what's coming to her. She's a very polarizing figure in that. I think the last event they were at, she had 2 matches. I believe she might have won both of them too. But she's a menace to society. Heineken glass. What are you drinking, Brad? Oh, and hello, by the way, Jaron.
Straight water. Straight water.
Yeah. Is that some nice orange juice there?
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
The nightcap of champions. There couldn't possibly be anything else in this drink at all.
Atlanta Lennox, but it was just cool to see a different roster of people and just see what's going on in that territory. So,
absolutely.
And then I think I was some a little bit late after that, and then some before, but I know they showed up on some AEW dark matches, so that was cool to see. Yeah, it's been cool to keep up with. I don't think I would have kept up with dark if it wasn't much of these Minnesota guys or just people that I've watched going at least having a match with on AEW dark, and it's just cool to see that they're getting a recognition, and it's cool to see them in person at the AEW Dark right before Rampage in Minnesota, so in the Minneapolis Target Center. So it's cool that all these wrestlers should get recognition, like who was there, Josh C and Craven Knight and Rennie D and all those guys. So system, you got to be on Dark.
Like I said, I am an open book. I'm trying to. I spend all my focus on MAW right now and continue to build them. And well, I really respect what AEW is doing, and I was blown away by, just kind of like what they're like. They're around the freaking Target Center, like they're at that level. Like I've done WWE extra work, AEW extra work. They're like it's a great time to be a fan. It's like it's amazing, I remember growing up without that competition, like just WWE, and then TNA trying, like it's great having like legitimate ratings battles in it, and it's awesome seeing networks kind of start to respect wrestling as well, seeing these content deals that WWE is pulling off, and I hope AEW can kind of get those numbers too on their next deal, like to see networks really like respect wrestling as content and like as a tool for churning out content. It's right now, my focus would be just helping Dave and Eli and Brian and MAW and taking like Chavo, like who's just truly like special at creating this. And we do have something special here, and I'm trying to aim to build that as much as we can. And at the same time, if another opportunity arises, I definitely want to keep myself open to taking it. But I don't want to be too tunnel vision on any of this. Which it's complicated, but like I said, I've lucked into just having the watchful eye of guys who've been there, been to the big stage, and like they keep me grounded. So to answer your question, Jaron, you're just gonna have to trust the system.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But yeah, I just never imagined that. So I started going to Minnesota indie events in 2017. Well, I guess since I've been in North Dakota, I can just say indie events in general. Started going in 2017 and then kept going all these years. And I just never thought it would be this huge. And was there it's got to be like 10 different companies that have run shows in Minnesota before. So it's really cool to see all these promotions providing wrestling for wrestling fans, and then wrestlers like you, and just being able to promote yourself, and does provide a lot of entertainment for just not only the fans, but for wrestlers, and I guess everyone in general.
No, it's really cool what you do here, man. Like you're very vocal about promoting all the events and everything, and that brings a lot of value, for what. Yeah, it really does. I want to don't get me wrong, that brings a lot of value.
Yeah, it's never. I mean, I've always, obviously we've all watched the WWE stuff, but I think not till then. It's just it's been really fun just to focus on independent shows and just promote that, and promote the smaller shows all the way up to the bigger shows. And it's just, I guess, kind of become like all of ours, like a passion just to support indie wrestling and Minnesota wrestling. So it's been really, really fun to follow all these promotions, and then find all these new promotions. Mm-hmm.
That's great, man. And we want to respect your attention. Not you, Brad, but you, Jaron. We want to respect your attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, Brad's got it cool. He's running Nerding Out and everything, so you give him a little credit, right?
He's got that. Yeah, he's got that going for him, which is pretty nice.
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I just want to respect your guys' time. It is 10 o'clock, but we did go over a lot of good
Timberwolves
stuff.
Game to watch. What are you doing?
Was it?
I got a Timberwolves game to watch.
Oh, you're watching.
Oh man, they're getting clapped right now. They're down 4 to the Kings.
Oh god. Mm-hmm.
That's unacceptable, man. The Kings traded away half their roster yesterday, or their only 2 players yesterday. This should be a 30-point blowout. They're down 4 right now. God damn it.
Mm.
All right.
Timberwolves are always struggling. It's the thing with Minnesota teams. They're always struggling.
No, we're killing it right now, man. I want to talk about the Timberwolves, and then everyone's like, but the Wild, though. They're somehow doing even better this year. So it's a good time right now. It's a good time.
It's a good time. Yeah. All right. With that being said, do you guys have any social medias that you want them to follow you to, or events that you guys are going to?
The official Rampage.
No, I think everyone knows who I am. But Brad, if you want to put over your stuff, that's cool.
No, I'm pretty sure I just heard Rampage in the background saying the official Rampage.
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear it.
Nah.
I wonder what that is.
The mystery of it all is if people want to follow us, they'll find us.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess.
This is your show. This is your show. You tell them where to find you.
All right, sounds good. All right. Thanks guys for joining. I know Jesse was having some tech issues, and he just wanted to spend the time to make sure he was fixing it. But hopefully we can have you guys on again, but try to get as many people as we can, and have more people come back, because I know you guys got a lot of wrestling stories, and then just cool to talk pop culture and everything about it. So thanks guys for being on, and this has been Indie Talk with, I guess, just me this time, but with Indie Talk with Jaron, featuring Brad from Nerdin' Out and The System. All right,
it's been
you guys
a pleasure,
have a nice
Jaron.
night.
Yep, thanks.
I'm sure I'll see you soon. System out.
Yeah, I'll probably see you down. I'll probably definitely. Yeah. All right.
Thanks
I'll see you,
again.
Brad.
Yeah.
All right. So that's been Indie Talk with me, featuring The System and Brad from Nerdin' Out. And next week we'll have another Indie Talk episode promoted. But for now, just keep following The System. He knows, everyone should know by now where to follow The System. And then Brad from Nerdin' Out, guys should know him. He had the big NerdinOut Con. And yes, if you guys are watching this, keep following me on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, The Phenomenal Figures, and then Jaron Peel, just my name, Jaron Peel. Facebook groups. Follow MN Custom Indie Wrestling Figures and MN Custom Indie Wrestling Figure Matches. It's where I post custom figures of all these Minnesota guys. And yeah, pretty soon I do need a figure of the system that to the collection of pictures, and maybe Brad down the line sometime too. So with that being said, that has been another Indie Talk episode, and we'll see you in the next one. So see you guys.